All right, there comes NAT.
So, first we'll see how we can do the hide net. Okay.
Okay.
So let's see if we have, this object explorer. If you want to
Yeah.
go anywhere, you have to come here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my Windows Server IP address.
Okay.
This one, 192.168. It's saying no object located.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
So
So
you can create an
let's
object.
open one object for that.
Okay. Okay.
Mm,
Here,
Network
network
object
router.
first, and but static net, it is okay to have the one object and give
Uh-huh.
uh, the mapping. But
Uh-huh.
when we talk about the hide net,
Uh-huh.
we always give it to the network because
Subnet. Okay.
yeah,
Thank
only one IP address assigning to one
you.
host.
Network.
No,
Okay.
that is also fine. But in terms of if you think, uh, if you want to save the IP addresses in that way, you know. So I'm just
Got it.
giving it my internal network,
Mm-hmm.
and let's give it IP address 192.168.1.0 range,
Mm-hmm.
24, sorry, 255.255.255.0.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you there is something called hide net automatic.
Oh yeah.
So here itself, see there's an option net, and here you can add it. Add automatic address translation.
Uh-huh.
So you can add
Uh-huh.
static or dynamic. Before that, let's
Uh-huh.
cancel this, and I want to show you the NAT policy right now what we are
Yeah.
seeing here. So let's see, this is one rule is automatically added here. Okay,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
so let's go ahead and just delete that
Okay.
because uh, can we delete it?
Oh,
No,
maybe the object creation is open.
no, it is automatically created and this object is there. That's what.
Mm.
Let's better do one thing. Create a rule for the another object for
Mm-hmm.
now. Okay. Instead of 20, 21 will take. So
Mm-hmm.
do you see anything here for the 21?
No.
No, right? There is no rule for the 21. So whichever rule we are going to see now,
Mm-hmm.
those are for the new object 21.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, it will be understood that okay, what happens when we create the uh, automatic NAT. So
Mm-hmm.
let's create a new object, network object uh, for network. I mean, some other subnet. If
Mm-hmm.
we give a network 21 like that, your IP
Mm-hmm.
address 192.168.21.0.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just giving any random IP address 255.255.255.0. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now just go ahead and do this hide NAT.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you talk about the hide net, we have two options. One is hide behind the gateway.
Mm-hmm.
This means that whenever the packet will go outside world, it will take the gateway IP address.
Mm.
So right now my gateway IP address is 192.168.1.101. So
Mm-hmm.
the outside world people will see that IP address.
Mm.
But there is a drawback for to this,
Mm-hmm.
which is you are exposing your gateway to the outside world. Okay.
That's true.
So there is another option.
Hide
You can
behind it.
hide behind with the IP address, which is
Uh-huh.
not your IP address,
Uh-huh.
provided
Yeah. You
this
have
IP
purchased.
address should be the range of your gateway IP address. So
Got
this
it.
is what I have. For
Uh-huh.
example,
Uh-huh.
S24 there.
Uh-huh.
I should have in that range. So say for now I'm giving it like 160. Okay,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and if I say okay,
Uh-huh.
we should see two objects. added there. Sorry, two rules added there. Okay. So do you see two rule, 1 and 2? Okay.
I was thinking all this time that, well, maybe it's since the number 4 rule is the traffic which is one way till the netting is, well, this is for internal only, and the other one is for netting rule. Is that right?
Right.
It's internal.
Yeah.
That
And
one will stay original.
everything will be say as it is.
Yes.
In short, we are not modifying any traffic here.
Correct.
Right. Now,
Uh-huh.
with the second rule, the actual the netting take place. So if you see here, for example, your original source is 192.168.21.0. Okay. Destination and everything is any because we are not modifying any destination in the path. Okay. Which I was trying to say there is no modification. It should be remain same where we are reaching to this or not. And when it hit to the gateway, okay, the hide NAT should occur. But you will not see that hide NAT IP address here. You have to go into that object to see that. That is the thing. Okay.
Okay, got it.
And then rest of the things are original. So now whatever the traffic will initiate from this, okay, will be get natted to this and go to the outside world.
Makes sense.
Right.
Makes
Now if I don't know if we can test this, but if I can, it's difficult to test natting in a lab, but let's see. Here is 120. This is the one object, and let's make it hide behind gateway. This is only one IP address. And let's do this. Let's say if it works. I just wanted to see whatever the arrangement I have. Based on that, it will work. So let's add one object here. Which is say IP 192.168.1.21. Go to IP 192.168.1.21. Let's get natted behind the gateway IP address. Okay. Multiple objects have the same IP address, more than one object name. Okay. Let me go to that. 192.168.1.21. I'm not able to search here. Okay. So let's add hide NAT to this. Hide behind the gateway. And let's see if we have two rules created here for this guy as well. Okay. So for a single object, one rule get created because there is no need to in transition. This IP address will not modify anywhere, and that's why only one rule created here for the network. If you see,
oh, makes sense. All this time I was like, why it's a different, two rules are created. Now it makes sense. If it's a network, two rules get created. If it's
just because
one,
of the
man, yeah. Whoa, so machine rule and network rule, that's the difference.
Yeah. Now let's see if we can do, let's, for this, we just have to import the policy. Hide NAT, we don't require any explicit rule. Let's see if we can generate some traffic and it get hidden behind it. Let's see this attacker. We'll give it a 21 IP address to this. We'll observe the traffic. So let's see if the policy is get installed. And for the identity awareness, like how would the lab need to be performed?
We'll create a domain computer and domain server, add it to the domain, and I think maybe we can create an identity.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
So maybe what we'll do, we'll cover this.
Yep.
And after that, we'll cover the licensing part.
Yeah.
Because your lab required a time to set up. So probably the identity awareness will take tomorrow or day after tomorrow.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see now. Let's go to the logs and try to generate packets from this machine. We just want to see the packets.
Sure.
For the lab. So let's do it. 192, 168, 1.21. We'll go to 192, 168, 1.101. Let's see if this works. Let's start. Let's run. Let's see if we have the packets, and the packet says if something is identified or not. No, that is not taking place. Let's do it the other way.
There's netting.
So you see here, so that IP got translated to this. Why? Because we said hide behind this IP address. Now instead of that, let's go ahead
and put a routable address.
Yeah, I think now we observe that it is hiding behind the gateway. Just go ahead and we'll put hiding behind some different IP address. We can see that. Okay.
Got it.
The purpose of this lab is you should see whether the NATing is happening and how it's happening. Now I will show you one more part. What happened? So let's see if the firewall FW monitor So here also we'll see if the NATing is happening or not. Okay. And let's see once the policy installed. Let's go ahead and just replace this topic. We don't see anything for related to the 172, right? It's just 121 going 8.8.8 and taking the gateway IP address. Let's observe the logs. Let's do the ping best. Ping to
172.
Here it's showing 172.
Uh-huh.
Right? But I am expecting my filter also show something like that. But now let's do one thing. Okay, let's output this to a file, say NAT test. Okay. Now whatever the communication is happening, okay, we'll capture into that. But before that, there is some feature called AW Axle. AW Axle. This is something the checkpoint secure Excel feature. So when this secure Excel feature is enabled, your packets is accelerates. Okay. So whatever the traffic we are seeing, those are accelerated traffic. Okay. Due to that, you are not able to observe all the current packets which is happening from the firewall. So sometimes the NATing will miss or something like that. Let's try to disable that.
Okay.
Okay. So unexpected Excel off. Okay, this is the command. Let's try one more time the same command. Okay. And see if we can observe anything else here. If I ping to 8.8.8. No change, same traffic. Now I will show you something. Maybe the difference is here. Okay. I'm just capturing the same traffic. Okay. For this traffic, I want to capture it to say some output files and NAT issues. Okay. Pcap file. This is the syntax. Okay. So here you will see 0 packets. Now let me run the capture. Let me run this .8.8 ping, and maybe this will increase. So we capture 4 packets. Okay. 8, 12, whatever it is. So let me stop that capture now. Okay. And if you see do ls, you will see that file here, NAT test. Sorry, NAT issue.pcap. There should be this file. Okay. So let's observe this file in Wireshark now.
Okay.
So let me go to the WinSCP. New site. IPS 192.168.1.101 is my gateway IP address. Username and password. So you know this error comes
because of the clish is not set up or something like that.
It that WinSCP need to be work in a bash mode.
Okay.
So we are just changing the shell now.
Bash.
For the admin.
Okay.
Okay. And now we will rerun the same. Okay. Now let me take this file, NAT issue, and run it from the Wireshark. Let's see what changes we will see. Let me open that file. I don't know where I have kept. So it is in checkpoint CP info files. Okay. Checkpoint training, file. Is anything something like. Anyways, let me reshare it to some other locations. So checkpoint training. NAT should take care. Let's go back. Okay, here is the file. Okay.
Sure.
So I open the file. So you see this thing.
All right.
There's small I.
Yeah.
Big I.
Oh.
Small O.
And there's another small O. So it's.
So let's try to open that small O. Back. Okay.
So it went through the policy. It went through the routing. It went through. What's the big O?
Big O once is go outside.
Oh, and the small O?
It's for your netting.
Netting, yeah.
What I'm looking here, if we can see that 172 IP address somewhere. But unfortunately, I'm not seeing that. But log says that is happening. Something is happening, right? This is what I told you, like in a lab environment, it's difficult to give you the right output as we get it from the real world.
Got it. To replicate something as close as the real environment, what do I need to do?
You need to have the public IP address.
Okay.
And you will get it if you ask your team that assigns them, because when I was working, I was having the same lab, the one you are creating. When this tag people, they get this some say 3-4 public IP addresses. For the lab purpose.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, I wanted to show you this thing.
Yeah.
So if you see is the firewall, the packet 192.168.121 is hitting I. Policy is getting passed. Then here the routing happens as it indicates I, okay, which is seen into that image. So we are talking the same thing. It's nothing different what we learn, okay? Here your actual netting will happen. Okay. But unfortunately that packet we are not seeing. And then the big O, which will go packet outside the world. But it is okay, we are not seeing that. Why? Maybe the actual the outside world things is not visible because it's a lab and internal IP address.
Internal IP address, exactly.
Right?
You need to have a static IP for ISP to go out to know that's a external IP.
Yeah. So now you know how NAT works.
Yes. Man, I was struggling with this thing for so long. I see people make these rules, but I could not understand why on the bottom it had 2 rules and why 1 rule. Now it's so clear. Damn, man, you got magic. Seriously, man, you just don't know how I struggle. I ask so many people. Everybody say one different story. Just because when you explain from the basic, it's so easy to understand. So now only thing I need to understand is those 5 levels of NAT policy. And I think, wow. I still have to do it on the lab to really see, but I know there's 5 levels. But
what 5 levels?
When you go back to NAT, I'd see there is a go back to NAT policy. Yeah, That one, okay. So there's how there's the machine static NAT. There's okay, that I can understand now, because when you do a machine static NAT, it is rule number one. It's like the high priority, and when you do a machine high NAT, it goes like level 2 priority.
So consider this is in the implied rule,
Mm-hmm.
the rule 0.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
automatic generated rule machine hide NAT
Uh-huh.
1, 2. Now here you will actually do the your explicit
Yep.
rules,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Then there is a space for your static NATs.
Yeah. Range.
And then depending on what you are setting, okay.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
if let's do it now. Why if
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
go for
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
range, we go
Mm-hmm.
for the normal static range,
Okay.
where the things comes, what
Yeah.
could they look like? Let's go to the see. The purpose is we can create any kind of object, any
Mm-hmm.
name we can give, but the
Yeah.
only thing is that we will see where it lands.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now
Exactly.
let's go for the network.
Network range. Yeah.
You would uh, say R100 something like that name,
Mm-hmm.
and here I will say 192, 168, 1 dot 2.10.
Mm-hmm.
Net marks 255, 255, 2550.
Okay.
And let's go to the NAT.
Mm-hmm.
Now here, let's go for the static NAT.
Okay.
Okay. So here, IPv4 address, we can give only one IP address. If you want to test the range, you have to
Mm-hmm.
give you have to come for this.
Okay.
Here, IPv4 address, can we give the range here 192,
I
160?
I don't think so.
Don't think so.
I don't. It's just my IP address. If you give a subnet, maybe not.
We can't give the range here.
Not.
Okay. So I think this option when we do the manual NAT or something like
Uh-huh.
that. So hide NAT will not give that option.
Uh-huh.
This will not give the option. So that then the only one thing remaining, you can come here, for example, here.
Mm-hmm.
You can't create the rule as well. Add rule to top, for example. If we want to give here source IP address, destination, original packet. But we need to have that range of the okay, my mistake. Let me delete this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you create object,
Mm-hmm.
you have the flexibility here.
Mm-hmm.
So network object,
Mm-hmm.
address range.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go for that.
Okay.
Okay. So I said, say any name. I just want to give test
Yeah.
range like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here we will
What's
give the range.
IP range? Yeah.
192, 168, 1.2.1,
Yep.
192, 168, 2 dot say 15.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then we go to NAT, and that will give us two options: hide and.
Yeah. So here, if I want to give the range
Mm-hmm.
for this thing as well,
It'll still be a
And if I give a static,
same. It will not go out in a range. It will just go out as one IP address.
but how I can implement then, the if I want
Well,
to give a range of the IP addresses instead of one IP address,
is that possible?
that is possible, of course,
Hmm.
but it should be handy enough, I
Mm-hmm.
will search an option somewhere and I will come back.
Yeah.
But the
No.
problem is that
Yeah.
it should be handy, I know. It should
Uh,
be something like that.
uh-huh.
We are creating something dynamic, and if I give the range, so I can create an object. Just for now, let's create
Yep.
one
Yep. Yep. Just for Q.
range object and give it a range 192.168.2.1, 192.168.2.10,
Mm-hmm.
and I just created this object and I want that object
Mm-hmm.
to get natted with
The
something.
range, right?
Yeah, so what I
Range
will
of
do,
IP. Mm-hmm.
will say here and under the manual NAT,
Mm-hmm.
if I want to create a new rule, I can create here, right? So let's create one rule below
Mm-hmm.
and let's have say test range,
Mm-hmm.
origin source will be anything. For
Yep.
example, let's give this
Mm-hmm.
guy. Destination, it will go to the anything in the world. And
Mm-hmm.
now here we are giving a translation IP address as a range object. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, so we are giving 21. Instead of that, if you want to test, okay,
Mm-hmm.
let me change that this IP address to this guy. Okay, 20, 20, 20. Let's create one object range.
Mm-hmm.
Not object range, subnet.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
You put in the 172.
we say 192.168, 1.0. Let's have this.
Mm.
192.168, 1.0. Okay. So this IP address,
Mm-hmm.
when it will go to the outside world,
Mm-hmm.
okay, it should take range of this,
Mm-hmm.
one of this IP
Any one
address.
of the address, yeah.
Okay. And the rest will be the same. So this is how the manual net works. Okay.
Got it.
So before that, I want to change anything which is related to this guy. Here is already we have given this one host. Let's make disable this thing. We can't modify. You remember? You see here we can't change the this
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Yeah.
Automatic NAT we can't
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
anything with
I
this.
see. Yeah.
This is what we created for this, right?
Correct.
Uh, so we just testing the range now.
Okay.
I don't know why it is there, how automatic range static will come. I
Uh-huh.
don't know where those are options are.
Uh-huh.
But if you want to test range, you can do it
Yeah.
manually.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah, the only wrong part what we did.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is a static range.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But
Mm-hmm.
let's test. Okay, let's see.
Mm-hmm.
See policy fail. That is what it's also saying.
Mm.
The object in a source address translation rule 6, the range size of origin transfer problem must be the same. Okay. So here we have a 20. We had
1.0.
yeah. That's why it's saying that. So you need to have the range object also here.
Mm-hmm.
You're not getting bored, right? I
No,
just
no,
want
no. I am no, and anything you do is in learning. Even though I may sometimes not understand all, it's still a drop in the bucket.
yeah, but, because the range thing and everything,
Yeah,
why it is there, why not there. We just
no
so
worries.
for this thing also we need to create a new object, more object type, range. Come on, where is that network object? Address range, new address range. So we have given 15, right? 1 to 15.
Mm-hmm.
So new, just I'm giving any name. 92, 168, 1 dot, 1, 92, 168 dot 2. So new test 1 to 15. Here also 2 to 15 we require. Okay. But we are trying to do this hide NAT.
Mm-hmm.
We can also give it like a hide NAT here.
Okay.
Okay. But as soon as I do that,
Uh-huh.
it goes out from this or what?
Yep.
No. Okay. Yeah, it's still there. Okay. Let's install the policy. So static NAT, you will do the same thing. Only thing is that instead of hide NAT, you will select the static NAT.
Okay.
And manual NAT, this is the example what we are doing for the manual NAT.
Got it.
It's your flexibility that whatever the things you want to configure, you can configure using that manual NAT. So if
Basically, it
you
comes
have
down to two options. One is if it's a network object or
Mhm.
a static IP object, and if
Right.
it's manual or it's static. So those are
Yeah.
the. Oh, yeah.
Once you will be having this lab, keep that
Mm-hmm.
lab alive for forever
Yep.
because when we work with the customer is before giving them some solution,
Mm-hmm.
we
Yeah.
used to introduce that issue into our lab.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
that is the purpose of the labs.
Yeah. I'll make
Sucks.
this permanent.
Yeah. Let's go back here. After this, we'll be having food, and then
Uh
we'll continue one more thing,
huh.
which is licensing part,
Yep.
and then we'll stop.
Okay. Bro.
So let's see now what we are seeing into the logs. Whether the range come into the picture or not. I just wanted to know.
Interesting.
So it's now taking 170. Okay.
Yeah.
This is also learning why.
Yeah. Yeah.
The approach which this follows.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you see, we saw somewhere that IP address. I don't know where it is. Okay. So I will just type 172.16. What IP address was that?
Let's see.
Let's see again. 1.10.
1.10. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's here go 1.10.
Mhm.
So from where it taking that 1.
Wonder if we created an object somewhere.
No, the question is it should not
Take it from, because we don't have anything specified.
but it's taking from somewhere. Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, let me open this. NAT rule 2. And what is this?
Okay.
Additional NAT rule 1, NAT rule 2. It's taking from NAT rule 2. 1 and 2,
It's
these
over
guys.
there. See what's inside. Oh, behind the gateway.
Okay. But we haven't given anything there. Remember we deleted one NAT rule?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's still there. I don't know why. And if I change here, if I not specify anything here, I keep it as it is. Let's do this thing. Let's delete whatever we have if we can.
Thanks. Thank you. So we removed everything almost.
Yeah, I want to do everything just because the range rule will come into
Mm-hmm.
the.
Yeah.
I don't know from where it's taking.
Mm-hmm.
So let's have only one rule now. The flow of NAT is kind of complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Troubleshoot, to be honest. So that's why whenever you work in a very environment, understand the flow, which is coming
Mm-hmm.
first rule, which is coming at the last rule. If you
Mm.
modify anything, how it goes.
Got it.
Those things. Maybe we need to install one more time policy, but let's see how it looks. Only last 5 minutes, and then we'll move to the break. I mean, if you want to learn, you have to go inside and just try and fail over, whatever it is.
That's all you can. That's the only way to learn this thing.
That is the only way. Because as you are seeing, I'm just keep trying here and there.
These things
Just
are not
to
in the book.
yeah, this thing is not in the book. There's no direction as well. So yeah, let me start the ping and let's go to the logs. Let's search it. Now the node that is coming into play. Let's do this. As I one more time policy installation required. Let's come here. Let's make it hide behind the gateway. Okay, what am I leaving? Hide behind the gateway. Mechanism. So, this is the range. If the packet comes from this range, my mistake. Very silly mistake. What? It's worth. Okay. So we are trying from 21 IP address and we haven't given a range to 15. But if you do some troubleshooting, you know
You'll find your own problem.
Yeah. Okay, last two. Let's do this. So this is my original source. It will go to any original services any. Now you have to translate on this range. Okay. Let's do it this way. 1.30, 1. Because proper arrangement is not there. I mean the networking. That's why you are saying too many logs.
Got
There
it.
is diverting, there is diverting. But somehow I wanted to see if it works. Let's try one more time. Policy fail. Come on. Same error. Must be the same. Okay. So I have given how many IP addresses here? 1 to 22. My mistake. Come on.
1 to 32. Okay.
52. I mean, it need to be matched whatever you are giving.
The subnet has to match.
Yeah. So if you are giving range, say 10 address, 1 to 10.
Yep.
So the translation you also need to give 1 to 10 or say 20 to 30, the 10 IP addresses.
Got it.
It's still failing. Invalid object source of the rule 1, the range of the original translation must be the same. Okay. So it's also not taking the
other set.
Yeah, I mean let's change, let's try one more time. Let's give it like 20 to 30. And here also we'll try to do that. 20 to 30. But the problem is that same thing. We can't give it like this. Let's try this. If it not work, so it will not work because the limitation of the networking what we have. But this is as simple as the rule I have configured. If you want to do the range change or something like that, this is the only thing. See, it's not approving that. It's giving me that error. Why I wanted to do this? For example, if you see here 120, 130, 10 IP address, and my this VM network, it works on 192.168.1.0 subnet, right? Right. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm also trying to give the IP address from the same subnet, which is the added IP address. But what he's saying, you need to give the same IP address in your range also. For example, here also they want 20 and 30. Here also I'm covering 10 IP address. If I give it like this, say 30 to 40, right? Although I'm covering the 10 IP address, right? 30 to 40. And here also, if you see 20 to 30, I'm covering 10 IP address. 10 IP address, right? And here also the 10 IP address, 30 to 40, 10 IP address. Okay. So here, if I try to install the policy, it's giving me error. Why it was giving me errors then? Now it's getting installed.
Too early to say.
No, it will install because the earlier version it was giving error in a fraction of seconds.
It worked. So you gave it a range which is covering the same range the object is in. That is interesting.
Purpose is I want to see the the logs with the range what I'm getting. That is there, my lab is successful, otherwise not. Okay, it is dropping, but what is this? SMS? This is the latest package. Okay, this is the latest one. What is that? Okay.
So 2.21.
No, that is the previous one. It's coming little bit delay.
No, okay, got it.
Let's filter it out. The logs are coming little bit late. This is right. See. Now you can see 1.31.
Okay. Yep.
I mean,
yep.
The range what we have specified.
Yep.
Taken out of that.
That was a full experiment. That was a good experiment.
Complete natting experiment. But you know what? The funny part, see, the rule is considered. Okay. Just show you. Whatever the rule we have specified, if you see the address range 30 to 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here 20 to 30.
Right? Yeah.
Whatever the packet will go outside, it should take out of this.
31.
So it's taking 31.
Oh.
This was not.
Not that one.
This was packet. ICMB.
Okay.
So you got my point.
I'm getting it slowly, but yes, I see this one. I understand. I mean, it is.
You were having a question on the range, right?
Yeah.
So this is how you can specify the range.
Nice.
And forget about the system automatic NAT range. What they are, but in real life, you can use manual NAT for a lot of purposes. So I just in one example, one rule I have just shown you that how the manual NAT works, right? You see only one rule I have added, and it's starting working. I don't have to take care of the automatic NAT and hide and everything. Just come here, that is what in real organization for example, whosoever manages the checkpoint firewall, they don't care about the automatic NAT. They come here and they just create manual NAT because this is that simple.
Much simpler, and you have more control. You can.
Why it's not more simpler? Because when you do the automatic NAT hide NAT, the packets goes. Those that rules goes here and there.
Yeah.
So later on, it's very difficult for you to rectify which rule is applying and which rule is not applying.
That's
instead
true.
of that, you have flexibility. Come here, create a manual NAT, and as per your requirement, create it. Like you can create here the normal static NAT also, normal hide NAT also. Right now, we have created hide NAT. You got my point?
Yeah.
Do you see here? I have used anything like a hide NAT. Nothing has used. I have just put in this packet into the translation field, and it acts like a hide NAT.
Wow, that is new. Yeah. That is so interesting. And this is better. I like this one better.
You are suspecting that something like a DDoS attack is happening on your network. So in that sense, how you can check the packet filtering? How you can check the firewall data, what you can capture, and from where what you need to check.
Okay.
So let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Yep, I'm getting there.
I'm presenting, but are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I can just now. Yeah.
So let's understand the topology now. Simple topology I have here. So this is the gateway. This is SMS. What I'm going to do, I will hit, say data with 1,000 packets
Uh-huh.
at the same time on this gateway,
Yep.
and we're going to capture that traffic.
Okay.
Okay. So there's a tool here
Mm-hmm.
which is uh, helpful for doing such sort of things. So
Okay.
if you come to the option, I have given you this tool also.
Okay.
So here, if I said say 1,000 ping size,
Uh-huh.
okay,
Uh-huh.
I said that, and I'm going to hit to my firewall. Before that, let me go to the firewall and run the captures. 192.168.1.101. Okay. So now let's see what is the IP address I have currently. Let me check my IP address. Config. Okay. So 192.168.1.12 is my IP address.
Okay.
So let me do the FW monitor filter -E. Accept. Accept.
E stands for
Execution.
execution. Okay.
So it's so whatever the syntax after E you're going to apply will be
Uh-huh.
executed.
Okay.
So accept source equal to, or I can give it a host machine.
Mm-hmm.
192.168.1.212.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what we are going to do, we are trying to accept the packets from this machine.
Mm-hmm.
So right now you are seeing a lot of packets are there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we will add more packets here. So let me clear the screen and let's run this. So if you see, okay, sorry, I wanted to capture that into some file. So
Okay.
let's do it like say output to file, say I'm just giving a name DOS.cap, and now the packet will capture here. And
Mm-hmm.
from outside also we will hit the packets.
Okay.
192.168.1.101. Let's start. So if you see too many packets we are
Mm-hmm.
generating towards this
Mm-hmm.
machine, and
Mm-hmm.
it's getting captured. Let me stop the capture and stop this. Now let's take that file out
Mm-hmm.
and observe that file as well.
Sorry.
Bless you, no worries. So this is the capture file. Let me copy into say new CCSA here. And let's open that file into Wireshark. CCSA, DDoS. Okay.
All right.
So maybe we'll be having a lot of packets here.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of communication is happening from my machine. But if you want to see what is happening on your packet,
Mm-hmm.
let's see these details. So for example, I am just clicking one packet here,
Mm-hmm.
and if you come down, there are different packets. So I'm just looking for the relevant packet which will give us the right details. Have you worked before on Wireshark?
Very little.
Okay.
And but the funny part is I got a person to kind of one-on-one on Wireshark because this is very important. Like this is more important before learning any networking. And so it really helps. So right now I know a little bit where you filter between source and destination, how the different layers, how the packet size. First thing I learned was the three-way handshake to see where those three-way handshake is, and that's where I am right now.
Okay.
This is not a three-way handshake scenario. This one looks like the retransmission. A lot of drop packets. So I see I, O. So that means comes in.
When we generated traffic, this
Yeah.
traffic,
Uh-huh.
okay, so this is the communication happens from here.
Okay.
So I think this was the first packet,
Uh-huh.
or maybe the second. Maybe but this was the communication what I was looking.
Okay.
So consider you are under attack and you wanted to see what is the data, what payload, and what what are the things that are happening on your network.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, or you wanted to conclude that whether you are under attack or not. Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
mean I'm talking very high level details here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like that. You will come to know from observing Wireshark that this there is an attack or not. But
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying, if sometimes uh, requester comes to you and they were like, okay, I have a slow performance issue, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I'm
Mm-hmm.
having my application is not accessible, you know,
Mm-hmm.
this and that. That
Mm-hmm.
time, what you do the packet capture of your network, and you
Mm-hmm.
observe that into the this Wireshark.
Mm-hmm.
So usually you ask them, okay, let's you try access the application, and while I'll do the packet capture or something like that. Okay.
Okay.
Consider kind of scenario you have captured the packets, and right now you're observing the data with respect to that. So we have taken a ping example here. Okay. So we have generated say the 1,000 ping request and with the 1,000 payload inside that, and I mean ping size in 1,000 byte. We have sent in every fraction of second to our gateway, and we are trying to choke that, and we are looking into that if we found something like that where we are actually looking things.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the packet,
Mm-hmm.
and as you are seeing the eye.
Yeah.
Okay, the packet hits to a firewall, then big eye.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now
And
the
the big eye is where the okay, wait, don't tell me. So big eye is the policy check.
right.
Okay. And that's where it's dropping.
No,
Or
no, big
it's
eye is for your routing.
oh, okay, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, the first small I is for policy? No.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
first one. Okay, first one is for I is it'll take a few minutes but to kind of grasp it, but okay. First is
yeah.
policy check, second
Uh-huh.
is the routing, third is the natting,
Yeah,
and then it's going outside.
right.
Okay, got it.
So what we are observing, it's a mixture of the thing because this is ICMP packet.
Mm-hmm.
So the packet from 212, it hit to our firewall gateway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the policies accepted that packet. The
Mm-hmm.
routing happened
Mm-hmm.
internal to this gateway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then you are seeing a big O.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
big O, it indicates that the packet reached to this destination. That means the communication is happening. Okay,
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
here you are not witnessing any small O.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but if you
Because it's
see that
known
this
that.
packet,
Uh-huh.
there is a small O. So in short, we are observing what we need to see. I, big I,
Uh-huh.
big O, small O,
I
right?
see. I see.
If you see the flow, 192.168.1.12 is my source, okay,
Uh-huh.
and 192.168.1.101 is my destination. I mean, this
Uh-huh.
is my destination. So the communication is happening bi-directional also, okay, and
Okay.
we are witnessing all the flags. That means communication is there, okay. It's not something you will get 100% accurate result, okay,
Okay. Okay.
but based on your understanding you should know that okay, I am seeing these four things, that means the communication is happening. And
Oh,
also we are
okay.
witnessing the same thing that okay,
Okay.
if you start this, the packet
Uh-huh.
is ping is happening, that means everything is smooth there,
Is
right?
big
Otherwise
O as the is the outside, or is it big small O is the outside?
big O is for your if the packet is going outside
Okay.
as a
Uh-huh.
depends on direction.
Oh, got
So
it.
you are sending from outside to the inside,
Uh-huh.
then packet reach to inside, then big O.
Got it.
If you're sending from inside to the outside, and
Depends on
then
the direction. Okay.
yeah, right. So
Hmm.
here you are roughly saying all those things in
Uh-huh.
reception point, which concludes, and also in a side way you are looking also the packet flows. So
Correct.
destination, source, destination. So
Mm-hmm.
you can say, okay, the packet is passing to my firewall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's no issue with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
one thing is you confirm. Then when you come slowly down,
Mm-hmm.
uh, you will have a different fields here. Okay. So frame size and everything is for your
Layer two.
entry level thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which Max is running and everything. So I'm not talking on that much.
Mm-hmm.
But when we talk about FW monitor, okay,
Ah,
here you will see the direction.
okay.
Okay.
It's which interface it's coming from.
It's hitting to this ETH0. That I is hitting to interface 0, and from there going to inside.
Okay.
That it means. Right?
So you know where the traffic is. Yeah.
In, it's ETH0.
Yeah.
And direction is I. That means we can't conclude anything here, but we know that this is something coming from outside to the inside.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you talk about this internal protocol versions, you will see what is your source destination. And if you go a little bit down there, you will see your it is ICMP. That's why you are seeing the TCP6.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you go to the transmission control, here you can see whether your packet is using which service. For example, if your packet is something using QoS, something like that, quality of service, there is something here.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. It's up some more, I think.
Yeah, this one.
Differential services. Yeah.
Differential service. But it's under, sorry, it's under internet. I mean, it's under your IP version 4 header. Okay. This you can see here.
Yeah.
Here we will see, I think, the port details and everything on which port is hitting. What is the source port, what is the destination port, sequence number, acknowledgement number, what source port is taking, what destination port is taking, conversation is complete, incomplete, status. It's like when depending on your requirement, you need to search these details. So now this first packet saying that the second packet is from the gateway to this. Okay. And here you are observing this field, the data what we are transferring.
Length.
We are sending this much data byte. Sorry. This is what the data what we are sending now as a garbage value. Like that. So this data value actually tells you, what actual, attack values are carrying out. So here we are saying the data is 100 bytes, 1000 bytes, and what the actual data is. This is what you can observe here. So sometimes with the data, they maybe send some files, send some virus infected things and everything. You will observe that here.
Got it.
Right. I mean, Wireshark is something which, depending on your requirement, you need to filter it out. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But important thing is that these notifications.
Which interface it's coming into?
Which interface it's coming into? If it is completing its
the whole transition. Yeah. That really helps. Yes.
Right. Now, let me quickly show you the IPS thing. How we can enable IPS, what is the policies, how you can modify and everything.
Okay.
So when you talk about the IPS, you have to enable blade first.
Okay.
So when you go to your gateway object, here there is comes something called custom threat prevention, and in R80.30, here itself you will see somewhere that IPS blade. Okay.
Okay.
But onwards R81.10, they have come up with this threat prevention option.
Okay.
And here you have to select that according to threat prevention policy, and you will enable this blade. If you see, observe here, after NAT nothing, once you enable that, you will see the IPS options here. So whatever you selected according to policy, if you want to reselect that with the detect only, you can select from here. What this means according to policy, so right now, whatever the predefined the checkpoint has suggested to us, okay, this need to be detect mode, this need to be prevent mode. I will tell you that what it is. According to that, it will impose things. Okay, but many organization, we are application dependent. They are application dependent. So based on that, they after observing the traffic, they will decide which protection they want to prevent or which protection they want to keep monitoring and observe. So that time they put like a detect mode. Okay.
Got it.
This option is something where if your gateway is under heavy load, like DDoS attacks or something is happening on your gateway, that time having IPS also running onto the gateway will cause your gateway slow. So you have an option here, you can bypass the IPS inspection when gateway is heavy load option selection. Once you select this option, whenever your gateway goes under heavy load, it automatically stop the IPS inspection process.
But that's good and bad, right?
That is good and bad, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
But why it is good? Because you never know, because of the whatever the internal processes or internal things. Sometimes gateway comes under the load. We never know what causes war. It's not only the IPS or any attacks. Due to some internal issues also. So here you have option. You can track that. You want to alert it. You want to do whatever it is. So if you come under this situation, you immediately get alerted. Okay, this is what happened. And in advance, you will select that details. At what level, if your gateway comes, for example, here they have specified say low 70, 80. You can specify whatever it is, what you want. I say 80 is my low, and then 95 is my high. If this comes, then only do this process, something like that. It's up to you, right? So this update and everything is not that important. This is how you can enable the IPS. And once that is enabled, you have to come to the security policy, and you see there is something called threat prevention.
Yeah.
Okay. So threat prevention is a combination of the different features. Like let me go back to this gateway. If you open this is a custom threat prevention app. Do you see these are the different features offered by the threat prevention? So you have anti-bot, antivirus, right? So we just selected IPS. If you want anti-bot also, you want antivirus also, you can select that. It's up to you. Okay, so right now we're talking about the one thing, IPS. So that is a threat prevention. Is a this guy is complete package for these three things. But out of this, it's our choice what you want to use. So if you see here, there's something called IPS protection.
Yep.
If you open that, you will see all these protections. Okay. And this is a predefined. You have a choice here to modify these details. So right now it's not up to date because of the license or something like that. But for now, just for the understanding, just consider this is how the IPS protections and the protection things.
No problem.
And if you go to the protections, you will see different items here, like different signatures with respect to the different attacks. So when I talk about, or say, unusual activities, so these are the signature based. Obviously, I told you earlier, IPS is a signature based uh, detection. So say previously, if something detected and we, like, checkpoint decided that is a malicious thing, so that signatures, that updates get loaded into this IPS.
So
Are
we
the
don't have to do
signatures?
anything. It just comes from the
Yeah,
database.
it's come from the checkpoint side, and we have
Got
to
it.
just keep updating. But
That's
we
it.
have a choice here. For example, right now here I can see the risk script profile. I can
Yep.
make it like a detect or prevent. Okay.
Uh,
When I say detect, whatever the traffic hit with respect to this rule,
mm-hmm.
that only get detect. I mean,
Yep.
you will see those traffic in the logs. But when you
Got
say prevent, it will drop that traffic.
That's it.
That is the difference.
Okay.
Right? Uh, Let me go back. Right. And these are the policies where you
Mm-hmm.
can uh, define this IPS thing. For example, let me enable this one. This policy says uh, what scope you want to be protect. We can define the scope here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what network, whatever it is. Basically, we protect everything. Okay, uh, and here the action item. You have a choice what profiles you want to have.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if when I say edit, you see you can do the threat emulation, threat extraction, IPS, antibot, whichever profile you will select. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
example, I'm selecting these two as well. Those will, you can see here this icon, though two more icon will add it, and here you are seeing what confidence layer we are doing that. So for example, if I say IPS detect, okay,
Mm-hmm.
so whatever the IPS we are signatures are hitting to the firewall, everything get detected based on this profile which I have created.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can create as many as profile as I want. So depending
Mm-hmm.
on what options you are selecting here,
Mm-hmm.
those things get imposed. Like that, these are the general properties. If you want to go more into this, just come down and add details. Active IPS protection according to following additional properties. If you have something else in the mind, you can add those things depending on the requirements. But basically, we generally keep it simple. No, we don't make it complicated. This thing,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what the profile is, and we can create or clone multiple profiles as per our requirement. So if I say create new rule below, I can come here. This is the optimized profile, for example, and if I want to uh, say create a new one here, I can create as per my requirements. Say test IPS, and here you want says only the IPS features. You don't want the rest of the features. I mean, only you have a license for the IPS and you want to enable that thing only.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
can create that, and depending on the requirement, you just have those in place. It's just creating that. So here you have created. You have to select that, and that profile only get imposed depending on your rule. So now when I install the policy, whenever any, like, as we have given protector scope any, so from anywhere if packet comes and if it match these profiles definition signatures, Based on that, whatever we have defined here, for example, you have defined those signatures from this in a prevent mode, it will prevent. If you make it detect, it will detect. And here you have a choice. By default, this is given. So this you can be logged, you can alert or SNMP, mail, whatever you want. By default, they have given a packet capture. So whatever this signature is hitting, the packet get captures on this. So that is all, that option is there. And here you have to select the policy target where this need to be applied. So this is the gateway where we are applying this. As simple as that. I know it's kind of going a little bit overhead, but there is
not anywhere as complicated as natting.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
Yeah, it's just you just have to come here and
enable
allocate
it. Yeah.
and when you go to the protections,
Yeah.
You have to just
Choose the
modify
protection. Yeah, the level.
as per the, I mean, this profile you created.
Yeah.
On if you go to the protections, IPS protections,
Mm-hmm.
according to your requirement, you have to modify the details.
Yeah.
That is what the scope of these things.
Got it.
Nothing else, right?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Right.
Nice.
This is what the IPS is all about. Now, let's see. Let's come to the licensing part now. You already know this, but I just wanted to
no problem.
show you one more time. There is something called managed licensing packages. When you go there, so who takes care of the product development part? It's in Israel.
Yeah, it's all Israel.
Everything is in Israel, right?
Yeah.
Here only we have a tag.
Tech, yeah. Tech and education service and PS.
Yeah. So licensing have the two things. One is package management and one is licensing and contracts. When I talk about the package management, generally I see what gateways and what details, what SMS, what products, things I have. I don't see much here. I don't know. You know why the package management is here? What is the purpose of this?
I have no idea. You always go to license and contracts.
Yeah, I also do that, but I don't know why they have given this package management. So maybe
I can check and find out. That one, no problem.
yeah. So this 190 to 160 is my SMS, okay, and under that it's showing me different gateways. It means whatever the licenses I have, the primary thing is this. And based on that, the rest of the licenses get derived like that. Maybe I don't know, but
Could be.
everything is here.
Yep.
I think aware. If you want to,
Add,
import the license, you have to come here. License
package,
contract,
add
add
license
license
from
file. It depends which option you want to select. Right?
Yep.
Based on that, you select. And once that is done, you just have to come here and say get license, and then here you will see the status.
So
like
one
what
license is one management and one gateway, or is it, how does that work? That one I never could figure out.
one license, as in if you depends like what you have. This is a lab environment, so we'll be having such things that we'll be having a separate license for the SMS, separate license for the gateway. But licensing also involved in two things. One is central license, where your SMS and your one of the gateway, you can add into that, and you get a central license for that, or you can have a distributed license where for one gateway, one SMS, separate licenses are available. It's depending upon how you purchasing the license from the checkpoint. But in a live environment, generally, what we do, we go to the. I'll just show you quickly. Let me go to the site. Depending on if you have an appliance, that appliance will come like a central license, and with that only similar thing you can apply from the one. I mean, from one place to the gateways also. So just log in. If you go to the product evaluation. So generally, this is how I download my license. So I go all-in-one evaluation license.
Yep, same.
It gives me a 30 days license instead of 15 days. So it asks me for the management server IP address 192.168.1.100. The purpose, of course, we are just evaluating whatever the new things we from the checkpoint, and then we'll tell them the get for get evaluation license. So similar process I do for my gateways also, so that we get a 30 days license instead of 15 days license. So in that way, we'll make sure our lab is
So what you're downloading right now is just for SNS, not for the gateway.
Not for the gateway.
So when you come back for the gateway, are you going to put in the gateway address or the SMS address?
No, gateway address.
Interesting.
Because this is we are getting for the evaluating the product, but then you have this actual product. For example, checkpoint product. I have purchased the checkpoint product. So the over there, I'll show you like how it looks. So if you come here, okay, directly get license file from here. Or you have the second option, go to the product center. That is what when you have appliance or anything, you do this thing.
Okay.
So here you come to the products, and here your products get listed. Okay, I don't have anything as of now, but I'll just show you. So this is what the license information, not actual the product information. Okay, and when you come here, evaluation. Sorry, there is something like license information, product history. There is here evaluation. Yeah, here's a license.
Download the license file.
Yeah, I wanted to show you that if it's a product, then how it looks.
Oh, got it.
See, I told you. Central license. Here, if you have a choice like local license and a central license. So when you select the local license, you have to give this your gateway information. Okay, so I have given my gateway information, and with this gateway, I have a choice to download the management license as well. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So it will be combined for your lab. This is the right option. So with one license, you'll be having one license you'll be covering your gateway and your management server, but you have to select the local option.
Oh,
central option. Okay, then it won't ask you for the management information.
Yeah.
It only ask you this.
Yeah.
One by one.
Correct.
Right. It's up to your choice. And here also now, if I say get license file,
yeah,
still I'll get a license file. they see the license file is getting downloaded. So this act like a central license.
Uh-huh.
This is one by one, and the other license you have to go there as I shown, right? And you know how to import
Yeah,
this.
important.
There is you know earlier we used to use this smart update for upgrading the products also.
Uh,
Now I come realize why this package manual. I forgot completely.
got
It's
it.
for the upgrade.
Uh,
Okay. If you see here, upgrade.
upgrade man conversion. Okay.
Yeah. So you have flexibility to do the upgrade from the smart upgrade itself. We don't
Oh,
use this option at all, but you can do it. See,
mm,
you can install the. I mean, you download the packet, you uninstall the packet, you download the hotfix, you can reboot the things. So this is all about the management of your products in terms of the upgrade, in terms of hotfix installation, in terms of rebooting that. Everything you can do it from here. So main purpose of this is install and upgrade.
mm, got it.
So it's been too long time we are not using this package management. That's why I
Mm,
forgot.
oh,
Now I recall that why I used this feature
package
earlier.
management. Got it.
Okay. So now we have covered this. Let me see. We have 15-20 minutes, so we can cover one more topic here, which is important. Mm, are you understanding the things, or it's going very fast? How it is?
It is not going
Both.
fast. It's yeah. So I would say I'm understanding. Now, only thing left now is hands-on.
So, cluster is basically, provide you, in sense the, a high availability, or if in other terms, a backup solution for you. So,
Mm-hmm.
for example, you have a gateway 1 and you have a gateway 2,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and this belongs to one data center, this guys belong to the another data center, okay.
Mm-hmm.
There is altogether all different cablings here, altogether different cablings here. So say this is in Irving, uh, this is in main Dallas, you have a data center. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, due to one of the another reason, if this gateway got failed,
Mm-hmm.
okay, currently say this is the primary one, active one. If this guy got failed, it should, your traffic should not hamper.
Mm-hmm.
So the traffic failover should be happen to the different the another gateway, and
Mm-hmm.
this failover should be, uh, you know, giving you zero outage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For that purpose, we have this arrangement, like we call it a clustering. Okay. So with a checkpoint, you have options like you can configure a cluster in a high availability mode, or
Mm-hmm.
you can configure in a load sharing mode.
Mm-hmm.
In high availability mode, this is uh, uh, the scene. One
Mm-hmm.
gateway is active 100% at a time, and
Mm-hmm.
one is standby.
Mm-hmm.
It is not down, it's standby,
Mm-hmm.
and it's zero active.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the traffic is passing from one gateway only.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In case if this gateway got down,
Mm-hmm.
then this gateway will take complete 100% load,
Mm-hmm.
and this will when will it will come up, depending on if you apply the preemption or not, depending on that situation,
Mm-hmm.
this gateway will take precedence or become a standby. It depends.
Got it.
Okay. So now the in between these two, how
Mm-hmm.
the communication or syncing happens,
Mm-hmm.
That is because of CCP protocol.
CCP. Oh, the sync communication between the sync
Yes.
traffic. Oh.
So it have two options. One is full sync
Mm-hmm.
and one is delta sync. Full sync means if this gateway is completely got down,
Mm-hmm.
okay, in case it
Mm-hmm.
come up again
Mm-hmm.
after
Mm-hmm.
getting down. So
Mm-hmm.
this was the active one. So what this
Mm-hmm.
gateway will do, it will provide all the updates to this guy. So he will be in full sync.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is called full sync.
Mm-hmm.
And delta sync is something if at about time say this gateway was also working. I mean
Mm-hmm.
this gateway is on the standby mode and this was in the active mode. So
Mm-hmm.
this active mode, if we done some changes here, okay,
Mm-hmm.
so those changes, get transferred to this in background, which is
Mm-hmm.
called delta C. Why? In case something happens to this guy, so those updated change should be recorded here. And when this become active, I mean this become a from standby to the active,
Mm-hmm.
then all the processing will happen without any issue. That's why
Mm-hmm.
these two things, happen
Mm-hmm.
simultaneously. One is delta and one is full. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
This is we will learn in a CCSE
Okay.
in detail, but just I wanted to give you the overview. Okay.
Overview.
And
Okay. Got it.
uh, this is let's look little bit practical into that.
Mm-hmm.
We go to the CLI. 192.168 1.101 admin. So if you know the command cpha prop status,
Mm-hmm.
so that command gives you the actual status,
Mm-hmm.
whether which gateway is up, which gateway is down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry, what happened? Okay, so if you see here, your one gateway is at the active stage and another is under passive state or standby state.
Mm-hmm.
Active one is processing 100% load.
Mm-hmm.
Passive one is processing 0% load.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and
Okay.
if you run the command like aw ctl what is the command? W ctl look for that command. Checkpoint cluster.
Admin down. Is that to bring one down and bring the other one up?
No. I just
No.
wanted to show you the syncing part.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So what was that command name? Okay. Right. So you can write CPH prob if so here you will see which interfaces are participating in your clustering and
Uh-huh.
what is the status.
Okay.
Like that. What is handy command which will give you entire status? Let's try this one. CPH probe. List. Notes. HA. How many commands is there? Why? This is also classic command. This will give you all the things. Introduce CTL status. So here it will give you. Okay, now this is replaced with this one. That's what I'm saying. What was that command? Yeah.
HA.
See this? It will give you complete understanding over what
Okay.
is exactly happening with your clustering. What are the drops, what is the sync status, whether it is syncing, rejecting, everything. We'll be look this in a detailed way. And I told you there is something called full sync.
Yeah.
If you see, it's saying full sync was happened on April 10th. Maybe that time my gateway got down. That's why that happened triggered.
Got it.
Okay. So let me clear up. And there is another option where you have a cluster in load sharing mode. So you have say multiple gateways. Okay. So you can equally divide your load. This is a gateway 2, gateway 3, gateway 1. So you can divide your clustering load. So this gateway is taking 50%, this guy is taking 40%, this guy is taking 10%. The way the load is divided.
Got it.
That is called load sharing. Okay. We will see this in CCSA part in detail. So at least we should have a basic idea of what is clustering.
Yep.
Now let's talk about the MDS and VSX.
Yep.
So MDS stand for multi domain server. So consider you are providing services to the multiple client. Okay. So you usually use this option because with MDS, like we have created one small SMS, right? For your one application. But within MDS, you have flexibility to create multiple SMS at the same time. In a single click, you will create one SMS for one customer. Like that, you can create a multiple SMS, multiple, these things. And you can manage all this SMS within one single global policy.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So there's a lot here. I'm just giving you the overview what that MDS does. And like that, we have a VSX. So like you create a multiple SMS, like that you can create a multiple gateways within one single
Okay.
one instance we call as a virtual system.
Uh-huh.
like that. So you can create n number of virtual system depending on the license what you have. And
Uh-huh.
one virtual system is nothing but your one firewall.
Oh.
You can give this firewall to a single customer for their all application management. Like that, you can host multiple
Mhm.
firewalls to the multiple customers. So you can do that with the VSX feature,
Mm.
right? This will is topic like previously it was a CCS, CCMSC certification. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know now it's under what certification.
Mm-hmm.
So these two topics are there.
Okay.
And now they come up with the Maestro. You know Maestro.
I heard about it.
It's a orchestration tool,
Uh-huh.
automation orchestration tool. So
Uh-huh.
within that Maestro, what you do, you have these appliances, Maestro appliances.
Uh-huh.
So here you can, use multiple gateway. So
Uh-huh.
you have say 10 gateway, and
Uh-huh.
it has a throughput of say 100 GB,
Uh-huh.
100 GB per gateway.
Yep.
Okay. So this 10 gateway, for example, so total throughput of this 10 gateway will be the 1000,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
If you individually use this gateway, you will get a throughput of what? 100 each.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But this Maestro have a capability to align these all gateways together, and single-handedly you will use
MDS.
1000 GB throughput.
Wow.
That is what they come up with,
Oh.
a Maestro. So that is again a cool technology. They have a lot of things there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's very advanced. They just launching this.